Hello, good people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And I just want to say happy Sunday, and today is a good day. Today I am being transparent, and I am interviewing my fiance. And first of all, I want to say thank you for this interview. Thank you for being...
Hey, no problem.
Yes, thank you for being transparent yourself and being open. And we shall start this interview. So I want to ask you, first of all, how did you grow up? And did you grow up with both parents in the household? Did you grow up in a good environment?
Well, I grew up in a good environment. I had both my parents. I was fortunate for that. A lot of people, unfortunately, can't really sit there and say that. But everything wasn't easy. Just because you have two parents in the household don't necessarily mean that everything gonna flow the way you think it's gonna flow. And there were very stressful times. And with that being said, I would say I'm blessed, but I was also cursed at the same time.
So do you want to elaborate on how you were, I know you say you were blessed, which was a good thing, but do you want to elaborate on how you were cursed as well?
I would say that I was cursed because of my personality and my father's expectations. My father, he didn't play no games. And it was always, this is what you're expected to do. And you did it. Now, with my personality, I would go full throttle for certain things that I wanted and the ambitions that I had. And that's where the curse comes in, because it's like, in order to get there, I'm going to have to break some rules, or I'm not going to necessarily be what it was that he thought that I would be.
Right.
And then his inability to understand what I was and what I was becoming was something very challenging for him. And at the same time, it was difficult for me.
That's right. Okay. That was a good answer. So why I have you here right now, I wanted to pretty much touch on not our relationship, but just being in a relationship with a female that has dealt with a lot of trauma.
I would tell anybody that's going to take this task on, make sure you're ready, bro. I would definitely tell you that, because you're going to go through hell and you're going to go through heaven. And at the same particular time, it's like the person that you with, that's your equal balance. That's the middle ground. And you always got to figure out, how do I get to the middle? And you get to the middle, I think, by just, number one, knowing how to listen. And then number two, if there's something that you feel, you gotta state it. You gotta state it, or it won't be respected. But you gotta figure out what your delivery is gonna be. Because
exactly.
The wrong delivery breeds a bad result. So with that being said, it's a challenge. And it's something that, if you truly love that person, you gonna endure it. And guess what? You're gonna figure it out.
Well, let me ask you this. I recently told you about my story and how it affected me.
Yes.
And you were very accepting of what I've been through and very supportive of what I've been through. But what kind of advice would you give to people that are in a relationship that is dealing with a partner that has had some trauma? It could be childhood trauma, it could be adulthood trauma, just trauma, period. And that's what my empowerment is all about. Saga is helping sisters. But what advice would you give somebody who's been through some of the things,
Well, I feel like I kind of answered that question, but
You did answer it, but
I'm gonna reiterate on that.
okay.
And the only thing is, love. You know what I mean? Love conquers all. If you love somebody, you're gonna do the work. You're gonna do the time. You're gonna figure out a damn way. That's what you're gonna do if you love somebody. If you don't love them and they're not standing there when you're going through things, or they're not standing there, you know, and got your back all the way completely to the fullest through all the trials and tribulations, then that's not somebody that love you. If you love an individual, you gotta take the bad with the good and take the good with the bad. And sometimes that can be a little tricky, but love will conquer all if that's truly how you feel in your heart.
Okay, that was a good answer. So, how do you feel about me when I first expressed my trauma to you? How did you feel about it? Like,
Honestly, I'm gonna sit here and tell you like this: it numbed me. I don't feel like any child it should go through that. I wanted to kill the dude, to be honest, and that's kind of how I felt then.
and a lot of people don't, sorry to interrupt, a lot of people don't know my story because I have not put it out here yet, but I am going to release my story and, tell a lot of people, to help other people that have been through the same things that I've been through, which is what I want to do. But my story is so deep
Right.
that I want to take the time to do different increments of it. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for being supportive.
That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the support is the easy part. The hard part is the residual effects that linger on within an individual who has gone through what you've gone through. Um, Not being trusting, or getting sometimes quick tempered when
Lashing out. Yeah.
when that's not even
On the
necessary.
defense as well,
Yeah, and being defensive as well. I mean,
Yeah.
like, when that's the challenge. The challenge isn't to accept it. The challenge is like to move past it. The challenge is dealing with the residual effects of it. And that's why I said, if you not willing, rather, to actually endure those things, then you ain't gonna be successful.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And the relationship that you desire, that you want, it's just not gonna work. And if you that dude that honestly is too much for you, just walk away, man.
Yeah, don't stick in nothing that is toxic, that is not healthy. And it's nothing wrong with somebody that you're with, your partner, getting therapy or support. Support is, and I'm not ashamed to say that I need therapy or I have done therapy.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me say this, man. There's not a human being walking around on this planet that couldn't use some therapy. We all can use therapy. Every single individual that's walking this earth
That's right.
can benefit from some form of therapy, because we all got something that we deal with, that we don't know how to deal with, that we box inwards inside of ourselves internally. Um, so I would just say to anybody, if there's something on your mind that you struggle with, or you have difficulty with dealing with, and it could be a lot of different variables, a lot of different factors. Man, ain't nothing wrong, man. You ain't no punk, man, for sitting down and just talking to somebody. We all need it, include me. I put myself out there.
And I know I need it. I'm the type of person that I used to put a stigma on, like, didn't normalize being counseled or talking to a therapist. But now I know that sometimes you need somebody who's not judgmental, that you can talk to and that can listen to you.
I don't really necessarily know if that's a fair and accurate statement. And the reason I'm going to sit there and tell you this is because we're human beings, we're faulty. I think being judgmental is a part of human nature, because we don't have all the wisdom.
Right.
We have free will. that God bestowed upon us. So with that free will, we're gonna think what we think, and at the end of the day, that's okay. But you can't sit there and actually analyze it or conceptualize it like that, because there's so much more to it
Mm-hmm.
than that goes into it. All you can do is really pray to be humble, to respect your neighbor, and just treat people in a manner in which that you would want to be treated.
And that's a good answer. And that's what I'm trying to learn to do. Just take people for who they are. And I know a lot of judgmental people, but try not to be. If somebody's going through something, they can be on drugs or have an addiction.
Right.
Try not to be. I wish people would stop being so judgmental, because everybody has a story behind why they do what they do. It's not just that, oh, I want to smoke crack because I want to smoke it. No, I'm hurting. I'm hurting on the inside. People are hurting. A lot of people are hurting. So I try not to be judgmental. When I see these women walking up and down the street prostituting or strung out, I try not. They need love. They need help too. God is love. You can't judge people for what they are or what they've been through.
No, but you can pray for them.
That's right.
For what they're trying to be,
Mm-hmm.
or what they're trying to get at.
That's right.
And no one made more mistakes in life than I did. I made all the mistakes you could possibly make.
Yeah. But you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You didn't sit in it. You learned from them, and you got better and wiser. You did what you had to do to get better.
I think sometimes that would be the correct thing to say, but I do see that certain habits die slow, and certain thought processes don't come to fruition the way that they're supposed to.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And yes, am I more humble? Absolutely. Do I respect the next man more than I did 20 years ago? I do. But at the same time, when it's put in my face, I can sometimes react the way I would react 20 years ago. And that's the part that I need to kill with inside myself. That's the only way to true serenity, and that's the only way for me to heal myself.
That's right.
And be the best individual that I can actually.
And healing is a process. It's no certain time limit on healing. I don't care if you been through something. People can't say you should get over it. You have to heal as you feel is the right way for yourself. People can't tell you how to heal.
It's okay. You know what I mean? But nobody can tell you how to heal. I agree with that. And nobody can tell you how to mourn. I got that from you.
Yeah.
You taught me that. And that's real talk. I didn't really get it, but I got it now. And only, listening to you and hearing how you felt about certain situations is what allowed me to better myself, to have a more open-minded perspective, so to speak. So I would sit there and take my hat off to you and
Thank you.
tip my hat and just say that you really don't know what another individual feeling until you walk in their shoes.
That's right.
And
it is so true.
And at the end of the day, if you haven't walked them shoes, you ain't walked them miles in the desert with your feet burning up, you don't know what you're talking about. You just need to shut up.
Yep.
And that's just the bottom line. And that's how I feel about it.
That's how I feel as well. People cannot be so judgmental on what you've been through. Your story is your story. My story is my story. What I've been through, and I'm not ashamed of it now. I used to be, and hopefully you're not ashamed of what you've been through in your life, because it made you who you are today.
No,
so,
I mean, like I don't have any regrets. I don't have anything that I'm really, really ashamed of. Like my mother said to me one time, I'll never forget this. She was like, "What you did at this particular age was you in a different space.
That's right.
And you, who you are now, that's not who you were then. So life is a growing process. And, every day I'm learning. I'm never too old to think I know everything.
Oh no.
Every day is a new experience. Every day is a learning process for me to obtain more knowledge.
I agree with that. A child can, these young folks can give me a little knowledge right now, a little wisdom. They wise. Old people can give you wisdom. So it's not about age. It's about experience. Whatever you've been through is what's gonna help people get through what they have been through. So,
but I'll tell you one particular thing. I remember I was living with my pops or whatever. You remember this time, and I remember saying to him, I said something to him. Don't really remember what it was, but he was like, "I'm too old to change." And what I said to him was, "You're never too old to change.
never
You're never too old
to learn.
to learn,
Yeah.
or to change your thought process or how you process information." And but in his mind, he really believes he's too old to.
He probably
change.
feel like he's set in his own ways. So can't nobody change the way he feel or the way he set.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But he's not too old to change. He probably feel that way though. So
Yeah.
let him feel it. Don't knock what dad feel, because that's how he feel.
Nah, I am gonna knock it. I'm definitely gonna knock it. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like everything I've been saying is, we can all learn from one another. We can all become better people. We can all take our experiences and use that as learning information, not to make the same decision twice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not working in that direction, you're working backwards.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, like this could happen. Okay, how do I counter that to make sure that doesn't happen again? And that's what life is all about. As long as that you have it, you learn from it, you grow from it.
That's right.
And that's what it is.
And that's what experience going through things have taught me. My mission is I want to help. And I always say women because I can relate to what some women are going through. And that probably your mission to help men. Because it's some men that need your word of advice.
Honestly, like I really feel like this, man. Like for instance, I can use my job. I don't like having those difficult conversations with women. I really don't. I don't want to put them in my office and close the door and have to sit there and say X, Y, and Z. So voices like yours need to be heard. It needs to be another woman that's approaching somebody else. It needs to be that voice, because that's a voice that I can't really express.
Right.
Because it could be read entirely incorrectly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not really what I want to do. But at the end of the day, helping men, you got to understand it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? You no man gonna help no man that don't want to help himself.
Yes, it starts with self first. So you're right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna happen.
But what I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to cut you out because we're just having a conversation. We're having a discussion. When I say helping, I'm saying like just a word of advice. Like even with my videos that I've been doing lately, which I haven't been doing a lot, I say if I can reach one person.
Yeah,
and I've reached one person that's been in my inbox going through something.
It's reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like this man thing, you don't get.
I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm trying to
operates.
I know, because I'm not a man. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to empower people. But my organization is to empower women. Saga is sisters achieving, growing, and advancing. It's for women that's been through something. Saga is a heroic achievement of events. Right. The definition speaks for itself, and that's what I want Saga to be. I want it to grow. But I want Saga to be what people say, oh, that's the girl. Oh, that's the woman that I'm listening.
Allow me to say this one thing too.
All
right, we're gonna end it like this. You probably would have an ear to a male quicker than I would. And I may have an ear from a receiving end of a young lady.
Right.
Like, it's just the way that God constructed us, and the way that things are. And I would tell you, appreciate, take my hat off to you. You know what I mean? In terms of what your mission is, but your mission needs to focus on people and not just women. Because people in general, everybody needs help.
Everybody needs help.
And,
Everybody needs love.
and everybody might need that boost. You, you know, do what you're going to do with that, but I would sit here and I would beg you to do both.
Okay. So I will be reaching out to, I have a guy that I'm going to interview.
The guy from Chevron and T-Bone.
Yeah, T-Bone. I'm going to interview him about his story. And I'm going to put it on my YouTube page and let people hear his story, because his story is very deep. So, but I thank you, D, for
this is part one, because we ain't really getting.
We ain't. And
really
if you're watching this YouTube, if you're watching this video, we're about to start. Me and Darren, we're about to start a perspective podcast where we're female and male perspective, relationship perspective. We're looking at things from different perspectives. We will be starting that soon, as well as people. Please support Saga and support our upcoming podcast.
No.
What?
Everybody need to support Tika, because she's doing this from a good place. And
thank you.
And at the end of the day, it's really, honestly, just humbling herself, so that way, whatever it is that she has bottled up, that she can release.
That's right.
And
this is healing for me, to help other people.
And that really is what it is. It's straight like that. That's what it is. So I appreciate the time. I appreciate you allowing me to speak. I didn't really get too deep into.
We're gonna do a part two. We're gonna do a part two so people can know, because the things people don't know is that you're from Jersey, you're from up north, I'm from the South, so we're on two different mentality, mindsets.
Our wavelengths is
totally different.
And,
totally.
And the way we process information is completely different.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I ain't saying that one is better than the other. I'll never say that.
I'm going to say Atlanta is the best.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? We just come from two totally different areas that got the same problems.
That's right.
Because the problems are 360 degrees within the world. They all exist in every black neighborhood. So let's not act like that ain't the truth, because it is. But I'll get into my particular story the next time. And
I thank you for doing this with me. And I really appreciate. Can I get a handshake?
You certainly can.
Thank you for this interview. And thank you guys for tuning in. And please subscribe, like, and share. This might help somebody. Somebody might need just to hear a word.
Yeah, liking is important, man. Y'all got to like stuff, man. Don't just go through the phone, look at the video, and not push the like button, man.
That's right.
Push the like button, bro. You can do that. You can do that. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing but just hitting your finger on the cell phone.
And it could be, you might not like it. Just hit the like button.
Just hit the like button anyway. Right.
Yes, but thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you again this week. I will be doing more content. More content will be available. So thank you for tuning in. And thank you for supporting me.
I'm out.